My garbage person of the week is going to be Kristi Noem once again because she sucks at her job. She's really bad at it. And she's under a lot of pressure, of course, to deport literally everyone. And that's hard to do. Like, you need to hire a lot of people. And they were probably counting on there just being like tons of racists who want to be able to get in there, brutalize some brown people or whatever. But like, they're having to really scrape the bottom of the racist barrel. And so reports now say from inside DHS, they have people failing open book tests, and we have folks that can barely read or write English, which has historically been kind of an issue for Republicans. They don't like it if you can't read or write English. But in this particular case, maybe it's a good thing, because if they can't read, then they can't read the Constitution. So they'll go along with the illegal orders more. But they're having a lot of trouble with the quality of the recruits across a wide range of different areas, not just literacy or whatever, but they've extended the applicant pool already by ending the age limit on ICE agents. They have shortened the training period to just 6 weeks. So who's to say why they keep making mistakes in who they're rounding up? Maybe it's because they're barely training them or whatever. They had one DHS official said, we had a 469-pound man, nice, sent to the academy whose own doctor certified him not at all fit for any physical activity. And so that's an extreme case, but we've seen plenty of videos implying that the physical requirements in terms of ability to run, ability to not trip and totally like waste your own face on the pavement, they're not meeting that anymore either. Apparently, they've had recruits failing drug tests. They've had disqualifying criminal backgrounds while already in training. In one incident reported by the Daily Mail, a recruit asked to be excused from class because he had a court date for a gun charge. Dude, don't offer up the specifics. Just ask for the day off, man. They're barely training you anyway. And so this is just not looking good at all. And then with the people that they've got, you go to war with the army you have. What are they actually doing? Well, they're invading one city after another, and to continue a line of reporting that we've been talking about for months and months now, the vast majority of the immigrants arrested in these city crackdowns have no criminal record whatsoever. And you can see the breakdown here. First, the first line is overall the United States throughout the most of this year. Only 7% have a violent conviction, and they'll lie and be all squirrely, but that's what they're selling people, is we're getting the truly violent criminals. 7%. In some of the areas, it's 2% in Washington and Massachusetts, 3% in Illinois. Even any past conviction of literally any kind, traffic charges, whatever, the most minor things, they never break 37%. Washington, D.C. was 8%. By the way, you remember when I did a bunch of coverage of how the Republicans were lying about D.C. and the crime there, and they don't actually need to be doing this. And we were told, like, don't say that. No, you're supposed to pretend everything's on fire all the time. Well, what do you know? Turns out they didn't actually find a lot of violent criminal migrants when they went in there. 84% had no criminal charges whatsoever in Washington, D.C. And as they've gotten more desperate over the course of the year, we're seeing more and more of this. So if you look at this chart, this is for LA, Washington, Massachusetts, and Illinois. The number of people being rounded up with actual violent convictions, that's the red line, is you barely can see it. Pretty consistent, but as they've ramped up the deployments, what they're getting is way more people with no criminal convictions whatsoever. So they flood the streets with manpower. They get Kristi Noem all dolled up behind, a Bearcat or whatever. They put billions of dollars into it, and they just get a bunch of people who haven't broken any law whatsoever. That's who they're actually rounding up. And they're getting so desperate now in terms of manpower. They've got stuff like the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries detaining people for ICE, which that's like, man is the one species they're not supposed to be in charge of. Like, if you got some alligators that skipped a court date or something, sure, round them up or whatever. But like, you're not supposed to be hunting me. This is like a horror movie. And as a result of this, all this BS and chaos and the lies in the way they've sold this thing, and the fact that they're not actually getting criminals and they're ruining people's lives, it's the reason why Donald Trump is at 37% on immigration specifically. The thing that we've been told forever, you Democrats don't know what you're talking about. He's tapping into something real. Okay, people actually they actually support this stuff. No, 37% of the country supports his technique of doing this. And so you're not actually crazy. Most people agree this is not how we should be running our immigration system. Brett, what do you think?
Like, a hatred of the outsider is like their hobby. And as a golfer, I can tell you, you need to get a less expensive hobby. Like, that's what it is. They've got a really pricey hobby. And so many people out there, when it comes to what they want to complain about, there's some kind of, what Fox News does is just throw you stuff to complain about and things that are responsible for what's wrong in your life. And on Fox, it's just very easy to say immigrants who are crime.
Yeah.
And that literally is the word cloud they try to, get voter precipitation / participation out of. That's it. But it's not mixing right at high altitudes. And these folks are instead, a lot of us in the middle that are like, I'm fine with, if someone's doing a crime, they should be locked up, because my justice system philosophy is protect victims of crimes and of the system. And right now, this is creating a lot more victims of the system than it is saving people from being victims of crime, as far as ICE goes.
I like the way you worded that. Okay, well, those are our garbage people. 55,000 if you voted for the community garbage person of the week. 1% of that going to Kristi Noem for pushing another travel ban. So I guess I lose this week. 15% to Megyn Kelly for wanting people on alleged drug boats to suffer. 17% for Donald Trump for calling Somalia a garbage country, but not even close. 66% Pete Hegseth for passing the buck on his boat strikes. 58,000 if you voted for the hero of the week. We're gonna get positive for a second. Tied at 5%, we've got Tim Waltz for demanding Trump's MRI results. That was a fun story. 5% for Sabrina Carpenter for ripping the White House for using her song. I didn't know about that. I like that. What do you know? 9% to Bernie and Mamdani for joining Starbucks picket line. That's great news too. I didn't know about that. 81% though goes to Mark Kelly for standing up to Trump and Hegseth. People love to see somebody fighting back. And so thank you for that.